You gotta say, well, Jordan played Clyde Drexler. Clyde Drexler's never averaged 30 points in his career.
Welcome back, guys. I decided to make a part 2 because I was feeling like a quitter, and I don't want to be a quitter. So number 1, this 30 points per game stuff, sounding just like Rashad McCants and Nick Young. 30 points per game is not an easy thing to do. Just look at some of these names, bro. Tim Duncan, Kawhi, Dirk, PG-13, DeMar DeRozan, the big 3 in Boston. Even on their own teams, they never averaged 30, bro. Carmelo, he got pretty damn close, but he never averaged 30. Emo, braids, flat top Jimmy Butler never averaged 30 either. Even a powerhouse like Dwight Howard never averaged 30. Now I feel bad for throwing D Rose in there, but I had to make the point. Even half man, half amazing. And Agent Zero. Obviously there's a lot more guys, but let's just go on to the next thing.
Clyde Drexler's on nobody's top 5 shooting guard list. Clyde Drexler's on nobody's top 5 shooting guard list. Clyde Drexler's on nobody's top 5 shooting guard list. Clyde Drexler's on nobody's top 5 shooting guard list. Clyde Drexler's on nobody's top 5 shooting guard list. Like, dude, you know how dumb you sound? If Jordan made people better, wouldn't it make a huge difference if he was on the team rather than off?
Horace Grant numbers went up when Jordan retired. Horace Grant numbers went up when Jordan retired.
I hope so.
Because Horace Grant's been to All-Star game one time. And the one time he went was when Jordan retired.
I understand if you're gonna go against these MJ stans that claim that MJ did it by himself, he had no help. Okay, but again, failed execution. Horace Grant's numbers went up 1 point and 1 board with MJ gone. I could see if he put up like 28 and 12. All right, you would have something there. He was averaging 15 and 11 as an all-star. That's cool, but come on. That is nothing to write home about. You guys keep calling MJ a ball hog. So when he leaves, shouldn't they go up immensely? What about when Horace Grant was on the Magic? Why would Horace Grant's numbers on the Magic be lower than when Horace Grant was three-peating with the Bulls? Maybe you are over-exaggerating how much of a ball hog Michael Jordan was.
Go look in the Phoenix Suns series when Jordan played and he averaged 41 points. One game he shot the ball 55 times. He's lying.
I thought alcohol makes you or helps you tell the truth. The infinitesimal amount of respect I had left for you, Lance Stephenson, has now completely vanished. Throughout this video, you've done a pretty good job of recounting stats from like 30 years ago, and win-loss records, you've been pretty accurate. Why are you exaggerating and lying now? 55 shots? Even if you want to call MJ a ball hog, can you at least say that he's an efficient ball hog? He ended the series shooting like 51%.
And then hear you idiots say, well, you want your best player taking the most shots. Look, the object of basketball is for one player to get 2 players to guard him, which leaves a teammate open for easier shots. Shooting over 2 people doesn't make you better. It makes you take dumbass shots.
Make up your mind. How is MJ a ball hog? But then later, to defend LeBron, you'll bring up him passing in the clutch. And you yourself will mention MJ using his teammates like Paxson, Kerr, etc. So which one is it?
Jordan didn't start winning until he depended on his teammates. When he learned to trust his teammates, that's when he started winning.
You can't be a ball hog and trust your teammates for game winners in the playoffs and the finals. You're all over the place, Lance. That little 5% of alcohol starting to get to you, man.
So my question to you is, why wasn't Scottie Pippen the Finals MVP in '91? Because he checked Magic Johnson. Because Magic Johnson went off on them game one. That's the reason why they won the game they won. But when they took Jordan off Magic, Scottie guarded him, the whole series changed. Scottie Pippen should have been Finals MVP.
Okay, so first off, I got a confession. In the part one of this, I said MJ had more assists than Magic in the 91 finals. I lied.
Shame. Shame.
He did until game 5, where Magic went crazy and got 20 assists. I said MJ had more than him the entire series. Well, I alluded to that, so that's my bad. Since we're on the topic of the 91 finals, I'm not going to show all the footage again. There are a million channels that have already debunked this. MJ was guarding Magic for at least the first quarter or the first half of every single game. But even if we want to say that Magic went crazy in game 1, and then they switched Scottie on him, and then what?
And then what?
Look at his numbers. He's doing better as the series progresses. I actually still cut out some nonsense because these guys are just regurgitating the same BS that we've been hearing for years. He even mentioned Bill Russell has more rings and Robert Horry. Like, come on. Those guys are great players. And Havlicek. Robert Horry wasn't even a starter for like more than half of his career. Havlicek, as great as he was, and he would have the best overall numbers, he only had 1 Finals MVP. Kind of hard to compare that to a guy with 6. I'm not even going to realistically mention like the disparity in teammate Hall of Famers, whatever. But with Bill Russell, yes, he was a very unselfish guy. I'll just put it like this. MJ averaged double the amount of points per game that Bill Russell put up. Could it have been different had he been on a different team or in a different era? Probably. But as far as the numbers that Bill Russell put up, come on. We're talking like 15 points per game.
And then you say Clyde Drexler, but please, I want you to name me that starting lineup for that team. All right, hold on. Let's give him some time to think about this. Exactly. You don't know who the fuck was on the starting lineup. All you know is Clyde Drexler, man. Terry Porter. Are you fucking serious? Jerome Kersey, R.I.P., but you was a bum.
I don't like what I'm hearing, Smack!
Duckworth? Where the fuck is he at right now? Are you fucking serious? A nigga named Duckworth? That's the nigga at the park who's 40 years old with 2 bad knees and got his knees wrapped up.
I don't like what I'm hearing, Smack!
You know that's Kendrick's last name.
Like, come on. Duckworth. Are you fucking serious?
Kendrick's last name, bro.
That's why he didn't choose that name as his rapper name. He chose Kendrick Lamar, nigga. The fuck Duckworth. and Cliff Robinson.
Oh yeah, Cliff Robinson's a ball.
He didn't even start.
Ball.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Now do y'all see why I rage quit the first time? Jesus, man. Granted, this video is pretty old, but unfortunately Kevin Duckworth was deceased at the time they made this video. But Cliff Robinson was still alive. That's why I said this in Sorcerer Society. It's really weird how this is coming together. Because it was specifically about the Blazers. Now you got these clowns making fun of deceased people. Over what? A damn sports debate? And what's extra ironic, you see how earlier they were just giving Horace Grant all these props, right? Because he was an all-star when MJ left. Do these guys not realize that Cliff Robinson and Duckworth were all-stars as well? You're accidentally praising the Blazers, bro. If you're an old head like me, way off topic, but if you're an old head like me, you can only pick one duo. Who was your go-to duo in NBA Jam? For me, I don't know why, but it was always Clyde the Glide and Terry Porter. By the way, Terry Porter, another all-star. I don't understand. Like, I'm not saying you have to say guys like KJ or Porter. They're not like all-time greats. Maybe not even great. but they were very good. I don't understand the shade towards these types of players. I just don't get it.
And then Danny Ainge. Danny Ainge was good in the 80s. In the 90s, he seemed to be on every team Jordan beat. And then, come on, you think Danny Ainge could guard a Kobe Bryant?
Fuck out of here.
You think Danny Ainge could guard a LeBron James?
J Kid, but that little JJ Barea. Nobody give him credit. JJ Barea was the one who changed the. We didn't have no answer for him.
Then you go 96 finals. You're playing Seattle Sonics with one Hall of Famer, Gary Payton, and Sean Kemp. Or you say Sean Kemp and his 20 kids. Then you play Karl Malone and John Stockton, and then everybody, oh, they had Karl Malone, John. Karl Malone ain't won nothing. He never went to the finals until then. And he was 38. And he was 38. By then, Jordan was only playing his peers. Jordan had to go against a 25, a 26, a 27-year-old players in their prime in the finals. And then I skipped over one year. You know, Jordan retired and he came back. And then he lost to Orlando.
94, 95.
It's funny how this works. For all of MJ's competition, as soon as the clock and calendar turns to 1990, they all turn into trash cans, right? But all of his teammates, they remain solid. So Danny Ainge is only good when he's on the Celtics, but not on the Blazers. And then you mention in Game 6 where the Blazers were beating the Bulls by quite a lot, and then they lost. What about Game 2? Where Clyde Drexler fouled out, and all those players that you were calling bums, they spearheaded that comeback. Mostly by Danny Ainge in Chicago. I mean, it's not as great as the Celtics comeback in 2008. Sorry. And then you just casually lie about Karl Malone's age, but I guess that's minuscule. If you're gonna disrespect Sean Kemp, alright, I guess, but how good was he as a basketball player? I would say a 6-time All-Star was pretty damn good. You mentioned how the Magic beat Chicago, but you don't talk about the next year where they got their payback and swept them. Were Shaq and Penny not young enough or in their prime enough? You are leaving out everything. Yeah, we're done here. I just want to thank you guys for the continued support. I really appreciate it. I'm out of here.
Have come from way back to tie it at 95. 6-second differential on the 24. Cartwright jumping out. Here is Duckworth. A clutch bucket by Kevin Duckworth. He's tied the game at 97. Chicago takes a timeout with 13 and 2 seconds remaining.
Phil Jackson had to stay with him, and I'm wondering if he's setting in right now on his last 3 shots.
Danny Ainge has hit 5 out of 8 for 10 points. Scott Williams defending against Kevin Duckworth. Duckworth.
Count it!
Another big bucket for Kevin Duckworth.
The fuck Duckworth.
Again, the battle between Duckworth and Williams. Nice pass.
He's on fire!
Danny Ainge executing to give Portland a 105-101 lead. And Phil Jackson calls for a timeout. Ainge.
A pound!
For 3.
Yes!
Terry Porter able to hit the 3.
Not give him a real clean look.
Porter finding Ainge, and the Portland Trailblazers with a dramatic come-from-behind effort, trailing by as many as 10 with 4.5 minutes remaining in regulation, have come from way back, and they now lead by 8 as the Bulls take the time.